Good morning, class.
Hi, Mr. Dabney.
Glad to see you.
Oh boys, glad to see you too. Today we'll be learning about the law of sines.
Wow.
What is the law of sines? The law of sines is an equation relating to the length of the sides of a triangle to the sides of its angles. Basically, that means we are able to use a system of equations to find any missing angle or side of a triangle.
For these kinds of problems, there are some equations that we need to learn. Sine uppercase A over lowercase a, sine B over B, sine C over C. Or lowercase a over sine capital A, B over sine B, C over sine C. Either of these equations can be used.
We use this equation to find the missing sides or angles of any triangle that does not have a 90-degree angle. So when we want to find all the missing sides and angles of a triangle, we need to look if it has a right angle.
If it does, you will want to use the SOHCAHTOA. We will not be using this equation. If it does not, the law of sines or the law of cosines we'll be using. When we're given a triangle and we need to solve to find all the sides and angles, we want to start out by writing out everything. So the uppercase letters represent the angles and the lowercase letters represent the sides. So you want to go uppercase A, uppercase B, lowercase b, uppercase C, lowercase c. Then you want to fill in what you already know. So we know angle A is 75 degrees. And we know angle C is 45. In order to find B, we want to add up 45 and 75 and subtract it by 190. Together we get 120 and 190 minus 120 equals 70. So we now know that angle B is 70, and now we can write that down. The next step is we want to find all the sides. When looking at the triangle, we already know that angle A is 15. So with that amount of information, now that we have A completely solved, we are now able to find the rest by finding B, and then that will help us find C. So we're going to take the equations that we learned, sine A over sine A equals sine B over sine B, and fill it in. So sine uppercase A would be sine 75 over 15 equals sine 70 over B. Next step will be bring sine 75 down to B and 15 up to sine 70. So that's going to look like this. 15 sine 70 over sine 75. Okay, so when putting this into the calculator, you should come out with 14.45, or you can round it about to 15. So now that we have this information, we have B completely solved, so that means we can find C. In order to do that, we want to go sine 70 over, in this case, I'm using the exact number, 14.45 equals sine 45 over C. So what we're going to do is we're going to move them down and move it up. So you're going to get 14.45 sine 45 over sine 70. And that should equal about 10.53. And that is how you use the law of sines.